even know if we're on, but we're on. I think we're on. This is just too weird. Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome to the Growth Academy. I'm Amanda.
I'm Jenny.
And we're full of shit. So
it's swapping around.
We today want to talk about Ikigai, this book, about life purpose and about work and how the two, go together. So, look, in the past, I don't know about you, but in the past, we were taught that we needed to go to school. My parents told me I needed to go to school and then come out of school and get a job, right? Now, whether you go on to uni and then come out of uni with a career and work, or whether you just finish high school and then get a job, I don't know, in a bank or a shop or whatever you do, whatever you can do at that sort of educational level, or an age, right? And the idea about the job was so that you could pay the rent and buy food and get a loan from the bank for a house one day. I mean, that was what it was all about. But we've learned a lot since then, haven't we?
A lot more. That's almost like a factory. You come out of school, you get a job, and then you save up, you get and then the next generation, they come out of school and they all go get their jobs and they're
often known as the hamster wheel.
The hamster wheel.
Because as soon as you get a loan from the bank, you're in for good, right? You're flipped. When I say flipped, it's because I don't want to get YouTube to cut me off. So you're absolutely flipped. So you get in that hamster wheel, you've got a loan, now you've got to pay it off, so now you've got to go to work. And the thing is, quite often people get caught in that hamster wheel, before they're in a job or before they've discovered their passion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so they end up doing a job they hate. Well, how has it changed, do you think, Amanda?
Well, I'm trying to think of how we were talking about Mr. Money Mustache and how he short circuits that, because even if you've got a good job that you like and a well-paying job and your partner has a well-paying job and you've got kids that you love, you can still be in debt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you stop thinking about your money and you stop thinking about what do I want, what drives me.
Yeah, and start thinking about what do I have to do this week? I have to get to work. I have to do that. I have to pay my bills. I have to pay my bills, so I have to get to work. And that's what it comes down to, right? Is that what Mr. Money Mustache was saying?
Well, he's like, don't buy into that. You have to work full time until you're 60 and then you get some fun.
Yeah.
No. Actually be more proactive about yourself, your life, and your money.
Right. And that brings me to this book again, Ikigai. The reason why I love this is this talks about your purpose. And you may have heard the expression, if you choose a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That's really what it's all about. So what I'm wanting to talk about today with Amanda, who has a decent knowledge of money, finance, and working for a living and investments and things like that, as opposed to me not working, not doing anything, not budgeting, not doing a damn thing. And somehow getting by. I don't really know how to do it, but that's what I've been doing. Whereas she's been all organised. And she's in a much better position than I was when I was 40 something. Right?
I reckon
she's smart.
Lady partner.
Right. I could do that, yeah. I've had a couple of partners I've just left everything with. Anyway, so this Ikigai there's the 4 circles, as you can see here. There are 4 circles. And finding your passion, your Ikigai in the middle. And the Ikigai simply just means your passion, right? So up here you work out what you love. You've got to do something that you really love, or you find something that you really love. And then what the world needs sits here. And then here it's got what you can be paid for, because you want to create something that, whatever you create that you love is going to be good. If you get up every morning, you bounce out of bed every morning and you go like, oh my God, I cannot wait to do this sculpture, I cannot wait to write this book, or I cannot wait to create this game, or I cannot wait to get to the office you know, or I cannot wait to merge this company with another company, or whatever it is that you're going to do, pull some more teeth, whatever. If you do it passionately and you love it, it will transcend. And our next 10 minutes, I'd really like to do, we're going to do this 10-minute video and then we're going to move on. It's 1:25. But what I'd really like to do another video about, or vlog, if that's what it's called, is, I completely forget about it. Moving on. And then the other side is what you are good at. Okay, what you're good at, yeah. Right? So they overlap and they need to be considered to find your passion. The other question you want to ask is how does that can be defined even in smaller, by if you've got what you're good at and what you love, that crosses over as a passion that you've found. Okay, I better put it up here, I won't be able to see it. So that crosses over here, what you're good at and what you love becomes a passion, is your passion. Then over here, what you love and what the world needs becomes a mission. It's your mission to give what you love to the people. Okay, they need it. And then over here, where it says what the world needs and what you get paid for is your vocation. It crosses over into your vocation. And then the last one here is what you can be paid for and what you're good at is your profession. Okay? And if you can look at those and answer those questions, then you have your ikigai. And this book here, written by Hector Garcia and Francesc Miralles, this book here, this is a book that the Japanese live by this. The people of Japan believe that everyone has an ikigai, a reason to jump out of bed every morning. Okay, it's an international bestseller, and it is, they say, it is Japanese secret to a long life and a happy long life. That brings meaning and joy to every day. Ikigai brings meaning and joy to every day. I've read it and I thoroughly and truly believe in it. It's really, really great. So yeah, but we earlier on, Amanda was saying, what were you saying, Amanda, about how, talk to us about how things have changed in your time and my time to what people are really passionate about and making money that way, and how we were brought up. I think we touched on that a minute ago, didn't we? What was the idea around how we operated with our money?
Well, I think much more mindfully. So instead of, part of this mindset that you leave school, you get a job, you have a partner, you have kids, you get a house, you get a mortgage. All those things can be wonderful things, don't get me wrong, but much more thinking about, well, what matters to you? Maybe a big house isn't worth it for you,
because there are bills that comes with big houses. If you buy a house, this is the thing too. Some books I've read on finance say to you, don't buy. Just don't buy. Mm-hmm. If you rent an apartment,
it's a lot of responsibility.
Then the person who owns that apartment has to pay for everything to get fixed, has to pay the mortgage, has to pay for in the apartment you get body corp. They've got to pay for all of those things. Mm-hmm. So you can walk in, decorate, and then walk out. When you're ready, when your lease is up, you can go and live wherever you want to live. And especially now, today, technology being so, giving us this transient lifestyle, so you can go and work from wherever you want, wherever you lay your head is your home, and if you've got your phone and you've got plenty of gigs, then you can pretty much, if your work is online, then you can work from and live wherever you want. You don't need to bog down in a house anymore. However, that is one way of looking at it. So the other way, the negative on not owning your own home is that the person who owns the home can ask you to leave at any time. Mm-hmm. And you may not want to leave. You might, have found this apartment on the beach. It's the perfect amount of rent that you pay each week. And you're quite happy to stay because you've got yourself some friends in the area and you've joined yoga there and you've entrenched yourself in the community that you live in and you really love living there. Now though, the negative is that you've now got to pick yourself up and move, and it's not always easy, or you can't have a pet either. So it's not as easy to find somewhere to rent these days with an animal. In fact, it's nearly impossible.
It's very difficult, yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing about it too is that it's quite costly. You need like 6 weeks up front. And it's expensive. Rent's expensive.
A big bond, yeah.
You know what? And that's the negative thing. And you can't put anything in the walls. You can't hang pictures up. Your paintings up if you like family around you. You can't put any screws in the walls and hang any of those up. You might get one or two nails in the walls that they'll say that you can keep there, and that's the bottom. That's it. Any damage that you do, like wear and tear, you're worried that you're going to lose your bond over it, and you are paying. Say if your property, let's just go with $500, which would be a cheap 1-bedroom apartment in the northern New South Wales. $500 is what you'd have to pay minimum for a unit up here in New South Wales, minimum, okay? So say you got yourself a 1-bedroom flat for $500. If you mark the walls, and it's going to happen, just breathing marks the walls or marks the floors. You can't help but scratch something. You move a chair, it scratches. You drop a glass, it scratches the floor or the lino. Red wine stains the carpet. You're expected to replace all of those. You will lose your bond. So you've got to pay 4 weeks in a rent. So if it's $500, so you've got $2,000 right there, that's your bond. Plus then you need another 2 weeks rent to move in, so to be in front. So you've got 4 weeks bond that's held at the bond board, then you've got your 2 weeks. Rent you've got to pay up front, so 6 weeks to even move in. Plus you've got to get your electricity on, and you've got your power, and you've got a phone. Like you've got to make sure you've got plenty of phone data or whatever you need for your work, or for just to be able to use your phone. So these are the issues that you have to face. It's a lot of money, and and not only that, if you are settled into that place, you then need a removalist. Because most likely you will have your own bed, and quite often furnished places will come with basic furniture. It'll come with a fridge and a washing machine. The white goods, they call that white goods. But a lot of them don't come with furniture. Some of them will have a lounge and a bed. But a lot of people don't like sleeping in other people's beds. They don't like you sleeping in another person's mattress, particularly. I mean, I know that at my house, I've got a couple of studios, and more often than not, I get people coming around to rent, and they say, but I want my own bed. And I go, well, sorry, but I supply the bed. And the reason why I do that is because I get a lot of people coming and they've got nowhere to stay. I get a lot of international people staying in my place that are international travellers, and they don't carry a double bed on their shoulders, do they, when they're backpacking around? So, yeah.
I think we got off track a bit there, Jenny.
We did get a bit off track. We totally got off track. But where were we going with that? The thing is about money and investment and working. Get off the treadmill.
Yes.
Decide whether you want to be transient and free of debt and be able to lightly move around. Just move around with the minimum stuff.
Well, I wanted to talk about the Mr. Money Moustache guy.
Yeah, do.
Because he's completely against this whole, look, if you choose, because I've done it, if you choose to buy a house and have a mortgage and do that, it's great. It's just be mindful that you've got benefits and you've got disadvantages. Jenny's explained those in quite a lot of detail. So you have to be thinking about what's important for you. Do you value stability more, or do you value freedom that you can move quite easily? If you own and you're paying off a mortgage, you can't move very easily at all. So think about that.
That's when you get on the treadmill, when you own a property and you need to pay the mortgage every week.
And the other thing is, there's good debt and there's bad debt. So usually you can think of a family home as good debt because it's going to go up in value over time. You need a place to stay anyway.
And your money is not paying someone else's mortgage off. I'm fully up for buying a home.
Yeah,
I absolutely think it's important
How
to
many
buy a
times have you
home.
done it, Jenny?
Yeah, and I will do it because I need somewhere to live
Yes.
and somewhere stable for my child. I bought a home because I was having a child. So I absolutely agree that one should have a home. Preferably a house because it's the land that goes up in value, not the actual bricks and mortar. It does in a way, but it's the land. Where you've bought that land is where your valuable asset sits. Okay? So Amanda's got a bigger house with a pool and it's a much nicer place than mine. Mine has been thrown together with handyman here and a handyman there and there's bits and pieces that need to be done. No pool, but I'm sitting really close to the river and I'm in Ballina and Northern Rivers. So my house is worth more than Amanda's. And yet Amanda's house is a brick house, which is when a lot of people in the old days used to think if you've got a brick house, you've made it. You know, that's you get a flat and then you get like a house that's made out of timber and then you get or you get a plaster house or something. And when you finally get that brick house, you've made it. You know, Amanda's house is a brick house. It's in a beautiful spot. It's very close to Crescent Head. It's got everything that's gone on for it. She's got a swimming pool. She's got 3 bedrooms. Four bedroom home. It's a 4-bedroom home. So you know, this is what I'm saying here. And the only difference is that Amanda's house is a little bit further from any capital city, and I'm really close to the Gold Coast. And the Gold Coast and Byron Bay, you know, some of those tourist destinations. So I'm close to the river.
It's location that makes the
money. It is location, it's definitely. Now, if you wiped Amanda's house out and then wiped my house out, it's going to come down to the land value. The land, and Amanda's land is bigger than my land. Mine's just under.
It's similar.
Mine's only 400 square metres.
Mine's about 612.
Right, but I'm assuming, and this is only just a guess. I couldn't say, maybe you could, Amanda, but I believe that my land value is around 400,000 just for the land, and that's just short of 400 square metres. Her land is 600 square metres, and probably valued at what?
Well, I'm not really sure. The land valuer said 93,000, but of course that's the government, I think, isn't it?
93. Yeah, well, I got the same.
Mine,
I'm going by the same, the government one that sends you a letter in the mail saying,
no.
Yeah. So you see where you buy. It's really important where you buy too. So get an investment. Make sure the house works for you.
I'm tired now, Jenny.
What else have we? Hang on a minute.
Oh, we've missed stuff.
We have. We haven't finished yet. We've still got a couple more minutes. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to say about that book that it reminds me of Stephen Covey.
Yes, that's right.
He talks about, you know, like, how does he say it? The what do you get paid for? That's like your body. Then there's you know, the thing that you really love, that's the heart. Then the thing that helps people is the social. And what's the 4th dimension? I think it's mental. Using your brain in some way. But that's so it just amazes me that you've had this book that matches with a book that I've read since I was 19.
It's just a fascinating thing. I think the point is that what we're talking about today is that we know that Covey and these people here, this Japanese philosophy, written by, I can't read that because I'm blind,
Hector Garcia and Francine Miracles?
Yeah, these people are talking about the same thing. And Amanda and I are both into philosophers, and we've looked down the ages, and we can see there's a common thread all the way through, and that's what we want to bring to you. And right now, Amanda's just connected this book with Stephen Covey and what he believes and what he's teaching. Okay? I think the main point of this whole thing is that times changed. Times have changed, and you don't have to be stuck in a house and working in the same town and living in the same town forever. Okay? You can take your work with you now because we have the technology to do that and take your work wherever you want, so you can be transient.
Yeah.
The other key point is it's worthwhile having a home because
you want the security. If you've got a home base where you can feel safe and you're going to benefit from the market, and I don't know what else. There's so many good things.
Well, the
about
house
having a
goes up. I
home.
mean, you bought your house for next to nothing and it's like quadrupled in value. And mine's
It's
doubled in
marvellous.
value when I bought mine. Amanda bought her home she was way smarter financially than me. And so she bought her home, ages ago, and it's quadrupled in thing. And she's got a couple of homes, so they're making money for her. This house, I've had to sort of catch up because I've had a couple of marriages, and they've both broken down, and I've lost money, a lot of money, over the years with broken relationships. That's a bit of a bummer of a thing. So if you're going to buy a property, even if you are married, make sure you're 50-50 down the line, sign something 50-50 down the line, all the way, and make sure you both, if it's good, because it happens. Everything changes. You've got to know that everything changes. Right? It's the one thing that you can count on. So invest in a home as soon as you can. You don't have to live in it, you can rent it out.
Yep.
Okay? But the money that you put into that is always going to increase. It is a investment.
Exactly.
Okay? And if you want to live in it while you've got children, it's stable, because children got to go to school.
I mean, you do have to do your research. You've got to think about things like solicitor's fees, stamp duty. You've got to think about, how much can you borrow. I mean, do due diligence. But yeah, overall, I think it can be very, very worthwhile.
I think it's really, really worthwhile. But every property comes with costs too. You might make money because as it increases in value, your land and your house, if you like, it also, it comes with rates, and it comes with power and water bills,
You must have house insurance.
House insurance.
Because the bank won't like it if you don't. And that just went up.
Yeah, but to sum up,
fires and floods. Sorry.
yeah, no, but it's true though. You're right. To sum up, we both believe that there's 20 years difference between Amanda and I, and I'm into the arts and Amanda's into math, science. She's got that kind of brain. She's well read. I'm well travelled. She's well read. So we're very, very different.
Well travelled, well read.
And we're very, very different, and we're from a different era as well. Okay, so what we're telling you is that it's worthwhile getting an investment home. Pick where you're going to get it if you want it to work hard for you. If you want it to work hard for you, it's where you buy it, not what you buy so much.
Yeah.
But take both into consideration. Okay, the second thing is, once upon a time, that was the all-American dream, all-Australian dream, everybody's dream. Just get a place, stay, and nobody moved anywhere. They'd get a job, they'd stay in that house, they'd bring their kids up, their kids would inherit that house, they'd stay there, and it would continue that way, right? Well, now with technology, you can live anywhere you like, you can work from anywhere you like. If your work is online, you're good to go. So you don't have to be that stable anymore. Luckily, you can rent the one property out, and if you've got lots of money, you can buy another one and so on. But every time you buy something, you have to pay for it. And not just buy this, I'm going to buy this house for, it's $500,000. The running costs of it. Yeah?
Yeah.
And with apartments, it comes with body corp as well, and you've got to live next to people that you might not
Something
like.
goes wrong, you're responsible.
And my son's Nana, she had this awesome apartment in Ellie Beach, and all the balconies needed done. She was a pensioner. All the balconies started rusting, and they all needed redoing. She had to sell because they wanted everyone to put in like $5,000 or $6,000 to get all the balconies done, fixed and repainted right across this 20 apartment block thing. And she didn't have the money.
I'm quite nervous at body corp.
So she left.
If you can reasonably avoid it, possibly wise thing to do.
Duplexes are good because they don't come with body corp, and they're like a half house. So duplexes is like having a unit but without the body corp attached if you want to go smaller than a house. And duplexes are good for when you want to retire, because often the family home gets too big for one if your partner's passed away. So you downsize by moving into a duplex.
We'll have to talk about retirement, I think.
We will talk about retirement, but the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about, which was the reason why I bought Ikigai, is the work that you can do anywhere, and particularly online. You will not have to work a day in your life if you find your passion. Ikigai. That's goodbye from me.
Oh, that's goodbye from me.
Thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye.